One of the strongest disposition of a believer against marine and their schemes is to turn yourself into fire. One is a parutavada. Holy Ghost, take me to the burdens of fire. Take me to the covens of fire. Extract the coals of fire. Place it in any area of my chambers that are not purged of your spirit.
Perfect day, Mama and Papa. I'm Saint Candice and I'm a youth of the house. These past few recent weeks, I've been having a lot of encounters and receiving revelation about things that are happening in my family and our loins and the bloodline, and how many of the things that are happening is linked to the marine kingdom. And I've had so many questions. I've been asking the Lord so many questions with regards to it. And He's been revealing things that have blown my mind, in the sense that I never thought that they were possible, or I never saw how it could have been attached to us in any way. But the Lord has been revealing those, and at the same time been guiding me on how to war against these things, or how to ensure that it gets out of our loins and cannot continue on to the next generation. I had a dream where I was in this deep, dark dungeon sort of place, and suddenly this huge creature appeared, tall and humongous in stature, but he appeared with such a glory. And when I looked at the creature, immediately I knew it was my Papa. And he took me by my hand and he was walking me out of this dungeon, and we got outside of the gate. He instructed me on what to do to be set free from this place. And I've just been having so many such encounters linked to our family loins, having dreams about my destiny and the spirit of setback, and all of these demonic entities and demonic activities that have been happening in our family. And yesterday, actually, I was sitting in our living room and I told the Lord that I know I need deliverance. Deliver me, deliver us, help me to deliver my family. And the Lord say, your deliverance is coming. Your deliverance is coming. And today in the service during praise and worship, I just started roaring and roaring and roaring, and suddenly this image appeared before me, and I saw a marriage ark, and I saw this couple. They were about to get married, but something was stopping them. Something was holding their marriage bound, and immediately I knew that it was tied to my family. I'm not aware of many or any marriages that have happened in our family, and I knew that the Lord was showing me this I could war against it. And I started warring and warring, and as I was busy roaring, I saw my sister before me, and she had this dark gem in her forehead, and that was so significant to me because I was roaring and I was still caught up in this ram, and she was standing next to me, and I turned towards her and my hand just lifted and I grabbed it out of her forehead with the sight of the Spirit, and I just heard, "It is done. It is done." So that curse was broken over my family. It was broken. And as Papa was preaching in the service, I was sitting and Papa was talking about the fire of the Lord.
One of the strongest disposition of a believer against marine and their schemes is to turn yourself into fire. One is a parutavada. Marine hates fire because they come from water. And one thing that fire does over time on water, a consistent fire on water causes the water to evaporate. Fire turns water into a vapor. The baptism of fire is the only gate of the Spirit that have the capacity to nullify all of satanic activities through marine spirits. Fire and water don't gel. They're not compatible. Holy Ghost, baptize me with thy fire. Holy Ghost, help me to aflame the gifts of God to fire. Holy Ghost, take me to the proteins of fire. Take me to the covens of fire. Extract the coals of fire. Place it in any area of my chambers that are not purged of your spirit.
I saw this eagle flying directly towards me, and the power of the Holy Ghost just came upon me. And then I found myself on the ground under the power of the Holy Ghost. And when I was taken forward to the altar and I looked up, I saw fire everywhere. There was fire everywhere. Even the lights at the altar had turned into fire. I saw that the entire place was filled with fire, and I felt this fire inside of my belly, and I kept roaring and roaring and roaring, and I just had this comfort in my spirit that some of the things that the Lord had revealed to me that I'd even experienced as a child that I could no longer remember, or that my memory had blocked out because it was so traumatizing. The Lord just brought that back to memory so that I could deal with those things through the Spirit. And as I was laying there and I kept roaring, I just knew that that was the finalization, or rather the beginning of the new phase of me stepping into that new renewal phase, that healing phase. And I also saw myself on a hospital bed. I was being pushed into like an OR, sort of like an operating theater, and my belly, like my lower abdomen, was being cut open, and my loins were being removed, and they were being replaced with new loins. But this loins was shining so bright. It was white, pure, and the old loins, they were removed and they were replaced. And I can only give glory to Jesus Christ, and I can only thank the Lord so much for what He's doing in my life, in my family's lives, and for Papa and the Anosike family and everything that they do, the laboring and everything that we're being taught here. Thank you. See you in the realms.
Upcoming events with the Bondservant of Christ, John. USA. Get ready for the first conference of 2026 in January with the Bondservant of Christ. Dates soon to be announced. Stay tuned. For more information, go to hub.drealms.org.
Global Raw for all nations at Grand Arena, Grand West.
To secure your spot, visit hub.drealms.org or scan the QR code on the screen. Date: Saturday, 6th of December, 2025, at 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. Central African Time.
Venue: Grand Arena, Grand West. Address: 1 Jakes Gerwell Drive, Goodwood, Cape Town, 7460. On Sunday, the 7th of December, right after the second service, we'll be having our water baptism with the Bondservant of Christ, John. Scan the QR code and register now.